so one of the last owners of these islands, with a beautiful villa, was the Russian ballet dancer Rudolf Nureyev. And with his boat, he would go to Positano every day. Down in Positano, there is a plaque by the beach, commemorating this famous dancer. And now the islands belong to an important hotel owner from Sorrento. So with the next curve, we begin officially the drive on along the Amalfi coast. So what is this Amalfi coast and Amalfi Drive? This is a beautiful part of Italy, which is now protected by the UN. So it is a UNESCO World Heritage Landscape site, and they protect it because of the beauty of the area. These dramatic cliffs that plunge into the Mediterranean Sea, the Mediterranean vegetation, the olive trees, the pine trees, the cypresses, the lemon trees further down, the beautiful flowers. So, as I said, now strictly protected, meaning that nothing can be altered here anymore, including the road itself. The road actually originated as a donkey path, which was built in the middle of the 1800s to connect the 12 villages that we have along the coast. Because, by the way, this road, this winding road, is 40 kilometers long, so about 25 miles. But of course, we only go as far as the first town, as far as Positano. And so, in the middle of the 1800s, they built this donkey road, and these villages, now renowned resorts, at that time, they were only fishing villages, or at the most, the people would be farmers. Further down, they have terraces on the slopes of the mountains where they grow, of course, the lemon trees. So this area was always more isolated than the other side, where Sorrento is. Even today, it's easier to go to Sorrento than to come here. And so this is why it was less known. And the first travelers to arrive here at the beginning of the 1900s were the people who could afford to travel at that time. So the European aristocracy or the artists in search of inspiration for their works. Okay? And then, during the Second World War, both the island of Capri and Positano, where we're going, became rest camps for the Allies. And so after the war, the soldiers, remember the beauty of these areas, and they started to come back as tourists, as visitors. So this was the beginning of tourism, even on an international scale. And then in 1953, there was another famous traveler who arrived here, John Steinbeck, the famous writer, right? You've heard of him, John Steinbeck. So he was in Rome. During the summer, it was very hot, and somebody told him, go to Positano. He had never heard of Positano. Anyway, he came down here, and he ended up writing a 5-page article about Positano, which was published in Harper's Bazaar. And so after that, then it became very famous, and everybody wanted to come to Positano, the Hollywood film stars, the VIPs. And so then, the village started to change a little bit, or quite a lot. Because from a fishing village, even though the appearance is still the same, but, now it is, as I said, a very popular place, particularly with these famous people. They used to stay at the hotels. Nowadays they come with their yachts. And so that is also when the road was changed from a donkey path to the present road in the 1950s. And by the way, I if you have the time and you just go on Google and you can read this article by Steinbeck, because it's really very entertaining, wonderful, and he begins by describing the drive down to Positano the way we are, except that he was here with a crazy Neapolitan driver from Naples, and he didn't have Antonio, right? To drive nice and gently down the coast. So how do you like it? Huh? Further down, the views will become much more beautiful. Here, if you look down, every now and then you may see a watchtower. This is all along the coast. They have a system of watchtowers, which was protective system dating back from the 8th century onwards, to protect the coast, because the enemies always arrive from the sea, the pirates, the Turks. And so that is also why at that time the population would run away from the coast and seek refuge higher up on the mountains. Sometimes you see little buildings, little hamlets at the top of the mountains. So the whole area is named after Amalfi. Amalfi is the largest town. We don't go that far, but also, Positano is much nicer. Amalfi is a bigger town with a lot of traffic, noisy, and Positano is much nicer. And however, Amalfi was an important naval power about 1,000 years ago. They had a fleet of ships, and they carried out a lot of trade with the entire Mediterranean, just like the other maritime powers of Italy at that time, Genoa, Pisa, and Venice. We know that eventually Venice defeated the other three and remained the only naval power and ended up controlling all of the trade in the Mediterranean. But for a while, even Amalfi, was important, powerful, and rich, and it ruled over all of this area. So when we arrive in Positano, can you see all the boats there? So Positano is not far. As I said, we have to leave the bus in a certain place, in a garage, and that will be our meeting point later. And then from there, you walk to the next city, which is further down. We don't see it from here, but this is where we have the Amalfi Coast. And so in a few minutes we're going to officially begin the drive on the Amalfi Coast. And however, from here you can already see there are 3 islands off the coast at the beginning here. Can you see them? And the name is in Italian Galli, which means the Rooster Islands. It's more than 1,000 years old, this castle. It was restored very well, and it is privately owned by a bachelor, they say. Of course, all by himself. And this is really a beautiful thing, but like a postcard, This really is vegetation, a rich vegetation, a lot of olive trees. Can you recognize the olive trees? Silvery green. But here they also all the boughs. No, don't worry. We're going to see it again just a little bit further down, because this stands the signs for these feasts. The feast of the chestnut, the feast of the watermelon, the feast of the sausage. Last week they had the feast of the eggplant, and in another town the feast of the ravioli. But as I said, there are people who are really, they have a very good name to the town. This town already existed in the Roman times. It had a different name. It was called Stavia, and it was a spa town for the Romans. Because on that mountain to the right, the highest in this whole chain, Mount Frito, even today they have springs of special, water, which
didn't work it.
No, I used it one time.
Are you driving?
Just do it the other way.
Oh, I'm gonna FaceTime you, FaceTime me.
Yeah, these clips are nothing. What? These clips are nothing. I thought they were gonna be there.
But not erupting all the time, but yes. In front of you, the peninsula of Sorrento, that's where we will go later. And off the tip, can you see closer to the peninsula of Sorrento, an island a little bit, huh? That is Capri, huh? They say it looks like the head of a crocodile. Okay? Yes? Or a slipper. Not bad, not bad, not bad.
Bigger.
And then you come to Italy, but also to other European countries, and it's all different. Anyway, so, and then Italy is divided into 20 regions. And for us Italians, the regions are maybe more important than the country. Anybody with Italian background? No, not this side, but you know, you have Italian friends. So you know what they mean, exactly the same as before. They had all the designs, so they made the copy, and it was reopened to the public in 1964. And by the way, all around, right where we stopped, all around that area, a lot of military cemeteries from the Second World War, including one of Commonwealth soldiers. Because the Allied troops had a lot of soldiers from all the countries of the Commonwealth. So Australia, Canada, where some of you come from, New Zealand, South Africa. So there's a big cemetery.